Hey everybody, Chris here. There's warning signs for Dogecoin, the crypto market, and even the stock market we're going to talk about in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when the videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. We've seen this building up over the past month while this conflict with Iran continues, and we see huge increases now in oil and gas. We have the different precious metals now actually dropping, which are usually the sign of a safe haven and where money usually flows. And the setups are now for a big stock market crash, possibly what I've been waiting for. As you know, I've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for things to shake out. Was always talking about maybe the summer of having low prices, but we have a setup right now that looks like there may be a more drastic drop in prices sooner. So let's get into it. Let me show you the charts and the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here with the Dogecoin price just below 9.4 cents. Overnight, we did have a dip down to about 9.3 or so, and that was following Bitcoin, as Bitcoin did drop into the 69s, as I talked about on the live stream yesterday, that we would see Bitcoin not holding 70K and actually dropped to about 69.5 here overnight. And it looks like it's turning now to go back lower, back into the 69s here again. So weakness in the market as we begin. We did have the Fed FOMC yesterday, and Powell talked about inflation and oil prices and kind of shook the market. And it looks like right now, the next FOMC in April, there's no rate cuts being talked about now. And in fact, there's about a 4 or 5% chance there might be a rate hike instead. So it looks like the tables are turning a little bit more toward the negative. This week, right now, we've got initial jobless claims is going to be announced this morning. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. Nothing on Friday, and Powell's actually giving a speech on Saturday. And usually these speeches, there's nothing new there. He said everything yesterday, but you're going to see on crypto Twitter, of course, oh, there's going to be huge volatility. Powell's going to announce something big, and he never does in these speeches. So that's really going to be nothing. So that's kind of how we're going to end the week here. All the news was yesterday with the FOMC that we talked about again during my live stream I had on Wednesday. My next live stream will be Friday. So make sure you're subscribed, you have your notifications on, and join in on the live as we continue to follow through this bear market. This is big. I mean, this is the whole energy crisis that is starting now because of what's going on with Iran is having its ripple effects across the entire world economy. We have pre-market as I'm recording this on Thursday morning. The stocks haven't started trading yet, but they're all in the red in the futures. Gold is down 4.5%. Bitcoin is down 4%. So it is a red market today as we begin. Here's gold and silver getting hit hard. Gold slips below 4,700, silver under $70. As rate cut expectations fade, inflation stays sticky. This is what happens when the market realizes liquidity is not coming back anytime soon. Risk assets might not like what comes next. So the warning signs are here in gold and silver. Again, usually that would be the flight to safety. It is not right now. And in fact, this whole idea about liquidity, there was all this talk about the U.S. is going to, have this huge flush of new liquidity, and that's not happening. That's not happening. And, on crypto, where's the money going to come from to buy crypto? And there's not a lot of money floating around free in the system right now in order for that to happen. Meanwhile, we have Brent crude oil skyrocketing this morning, and this could still just be the beginning. As oil continues to spike, the reserves are getting low. Trump is doing what he can to try and keep gas prices low. That is not going to work. And you're going to see the gas prices at the pump continue to go up. Not good for the economy. So all this talk, again, about a month ago, I started talking about stagflation. Powell doesn't think that stagflation is in the cards. But we all know what's going on, right? You're going to have GDP going lower. You're going to have unemployment ticking up, and you're going to have inflation ticking up. That is the stagflation model, and that is what is happening. This is the view of the overall stock market. Well, it's the S&P 500. We saw the tariffs and what happened with the tariffs. Stocks were on a huge run, and then the whole tariff thing last year, like, totally crashed the stock market. Look at the next run we had here, right into 2026. This is the setup right now. It's the setup right now for the next big pullback. This is what I was saying could be coming in the stock market, and it looks like the setup is here for this kind of downward move. As I am an investor, I look for these opportunities to buy, and if this indeed plays out and we have big pullback, the stock market will also pull back the crypto market, and we will start seeing those bear market bottoms that I have been talking about since December that could actually play out. Right now on Bitcoin, we do have the setup of bear flags. We have rising RSI, a rising wedge. We have a rejection at the top, starting to pull back, very similar to what happened here, right after sort of a January run and then a pullback in Bitcoin. We have the setup happening again, which would be, again, a bear flag setup and pullback. That looks like that is what is setting up. Kyle Dupes looking at the same thing on his charts here, looking at successive bear flags with rejections, and the next move would be down. And during our live streams, we've talked about these pullbacks and where these numbers could be. We will continue to talk about that on my next live stream as well, because I'm looking at a very similar thing. Meanwhile, Dogecoin price analysis says Doge is testing lower support. Futures outflows hit 87 million, so money is being reallocated away from futures trading because the futures trading is getting wiped out. We saw the big move up in the prices, taking out shorts, and now we see the retraction coming back down and more leverage longs getting taken out, and traders are pulling out. That is what is happening. The uncertainty of the market is going to have lower leveraged trading going on. The shorts will probably continue to stack up more with this negative news that we see. But meanwhile, Dogecoin is still the 9th largest cryptocurrency. Right? Those that say, oh, Dogecoin is dead, or Dogecoin, it's down 84% from its all-time. Well, of course, like everything is down. And Dogecoin is still a top 10 crypto. So if you're complaining about Dogecoin, go find another crypto then to support, because we know what the future can hold for Dogecoin. And Trader Allen reminds us with this updated graph here, again, looking at 4-year cycles, looking at big runs that Dogecoin has had in the past, and how the setup is happening again for yet another big run for Doge. But this isn't happening anytime soon. This is going to get delayed through the summer, most likely. And we're not going to see that big move like we had. Again, this was 2017, 2021. We didn't have a 2025. 2025's only came up to about 48 cents, not the big move up to $1 or more. That is the potential that Dogecoin has. It's not happening anytime soon. Nice of Alan to remind us, though, that this is the setup and the potential for Doge, but this is gonna drag out, I believe, much longer. And as we talked about on Wednesday's live stream, it's a waiting game, right? We have to be patient and wait it out. Look for dips and buying opportunities. Of course, none of this is financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are always risky. You never know what's going to happen. And as we look at, again, at the stock market and what can happen with stocks, this is the setup that we have seen before, and there are the warning signs for this happening again. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this uncertainty in the market and whether this setup is something that you're watching as well. Give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.